And so they just decided, oh, we'll take our child with us too
That's
to the
so
least
nice.
family friendly place in the
That's like
world.
I don't know if that's nice or insane.
It was insane. And an old man died next to me.
Wait,
It,
what?
yeah. Yeah.
Like you guys were out? What?
Are you watching this? Are you watching this? Yeah. Are you watching this? No. You need to get with it. Are you watching this? We on a TV shit. Are you watching this? You don't wanna miss. Are you watching this? Stop canceling our shit.
Welcome to the Are You Watching This podcast, the podcast where we talk about shows you should be watching. I didn't even do that in episode 1. I'm Chelsea,
And I'm Ellen.
and this is our recap episode. We're on Hack Season 4, Episode 3, titled
Yeah.
What Happens in Vegas.
Yeah.
This episode was also directed by Lucia Anello and written by Ariel Carlin. And she has written for 21 episodes of Hacks, and she wrote 1 episode of the Babysitter Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
that it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So the synopsis for this episode is, though reeling from their meeting with Winnie, Deborah and Ava continue to clash over creative control on their writer's retreat in Vegas, all while pressure mounts to craft the perfect opening sketch. So this episode starts off hot. Deborah's already pushing the writers for pitches on the bus ride to their hotel.
Mhm.
And Ava believes that maybe they should do some icebreakers instead. And so they pull over so they can argue on the side of the road. I hate icebreakers.
You do. I love them.
What is your fun
You know
fact about
what?
yourself?
Actually, as a Leo, I'm very surprised you don't like icebreakers.
I just can't, whenever you ask me a fun fact, I'm like, I don't know. What is my fun fact?
But I feel like it's like an opportunity to just talk about yourself. And I'm very surprised as a Leo that you'd pass that up. So,
Rude.
No shade.
I just
at
don't know
all.
what to say, like what
Yeah, I
what
get
is
you.
a
Like you're
fun
put on
fact?
the spot.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you. Can I add something about this? So I recently read a smut-filled fictional book, which was amazing. And it was basically about like rewriting an end of a love story. And it was about this female writer who wrote a book and it's being adapted to a TV show. And the person who, like the lead writer or one of the writers or whatever in the writer's room, becomes like this love interest or whatever. But what I thought was really cool watching this episode and then just having read that book is that even in the book, they talk about like in a writer's room, the best way to get like a chemistry of the writer's room is to do kind of what Ava says, like to ice break and be vulnerable and reveal things about yourself. So then everyone else feels comfortable and like you can trust each other with the jokes because writing comes from experience. So you can only share your experience if you're comfortable and know like that you're not the only fucked up person in the room. So I thought that was really, really cool. That
Yeah.
seeing it in both two art mediums kind of might mean that it is true. Like that's what they do in writers' rooms, which I never thought about before.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you have to probably be able to do that. Otherwise, it would be so awkward if you just walked into a writer's room and like, hey, I'm Chelsea, and then sit
Right.
down.
And you wouldn't come up with material like being like Brian from Family Guy is hot. Does that make sense? Like you've got to,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I'd be like, oh my God, they're going to not understand the humor in this.
Exactly.
You'd feel like the riff killer, which we'll talk about that here in a second.
Yes. Yeah.
I did want to ask too, well, I have that in the scene. We realize that Deborah expects a lot from the people around her, but she also holds herself to a really high standard. So at least she's not a hypocrite on that.
Yeah.
But have you ever been to Las Vegas?
Many a times.
Oh,
Have
really?
you?
Okay. Do you like Las Vegas?
I told myself I'm probably never gonna go again. I don't hate it, but I've done it a lot. Have you?
I have only been once,
Hmm.
when I was like 4 or 5 years old. My parents got married
Okay.
in Las Vegas, and we went for their 1 year.
What?
Yeah, we went for their 1 year anniversary, and they
Uh-huh.
were very young, and so they just decided, oh, we'll take our child with us too,
That's
to the
so
least
nice.
family friendly place in the
That's like
world.
I don't know if that's nice or insane.
It was insane. And an old man died next to me.
Wait,
It
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you guys were out? What?
So there are some family, this was again 1994, 1995, around there,
Yeah.
family friendly stuff, and we went to go see Circus because they had a
Hmm.
circus.
Hmm.
And the way that it was set up is they had these benches, and they're like, at McDonald's, those benches
Yeah. Yeah.
that, and they're just like really long ones, almost like
Yes.
church, but they weren't church pews, they were like those anyway.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very crowded, but this older couple was sitting to my left. And I just remember halfway through, the old lady's like shanking him and going, Frank, Frank, Frank. And he just fell over.
Okay, shaking,
And
not shanking.
no,
Thank God.
shaking. Like,
Okay. Okay. Yes.
I did not watch this man get stabbed.
That's
And
I
he
was like,
just,
wait, what? Okay.
and then he just falls over, and the medics roll him away. And he very much did die.
While you're at a circus show?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Did they? Was this after the middle show?
Just right in the middle of it. And they did not stop. They just kept going. I know.
God.
I
Was
know.
he? You were small, so you probably like the age. But was he significantly old?
Yeah, I think he was probably at least in his 70s, and he had this huge liver spot on his head. Just like this giant,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Damn. So he was just living out his final days in Vegas.
I guess so. I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
it was very
decided to go sitting next to a 4-year-old. That's crazy. That's crazy on his
traumatizing
part.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So would you go back to Vegas?
Yeah, I want to go back. I want to go back. And because Las Vegas is like one of the last few places that you can actually smoke inside and like get a smoking hotel room. And I want to
Uh-huh.
go, and I want to like get a smoking room, and like from sun up to sundown just be smoking a cigarette. I want to get in a bathtub with a cigarette. Like, I just want to be able to do that as an adult.
I like that. I back that. I love that. I think,
Just because you
yes.
can't, it's one of those things that you really cannot do anymore. And
No.
before I die, I just want to have that experience.
Yeah. And Vegas is that ridiculous place where you do something like so you wouldn't do in regular life. It's
Hmm.
just truly what happens there stays there. It's stupid. It's
Yeah.
yeah. So wow. I yes, you should do it. You should do that.
Well,
Maybe
Drake and
like
I'll go
40.
eventually.
Yeah. That's so funny though. Wow. Yeah, and you definitely need to go to have a different memory of that place.
A better one.
Yeah. Yeah, that is insane. Wow. Wow.
Maybe I'll come back with an even better story.
Wait, and you don't have like you freeze up at what's it called? Not deal breakers, but icebreakers.
Ice.
That's a great icebreaker.
That's a terrible
That's
icebreaker.
a great icebreaker. What?
How do you
I
like
had a man die right next to me when I was 4 years old in Vegas. Opens
uh,
up, like what? Amazing.
next time I have to have one, I'll do it and I'll tell you what the reaction is.
Yes, or like two truths and a lie. Check that one in there. No one
That's
will believe
okay.
it's the
That's the
truth.
one. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Mhm.
Okay. So once they all arrive to the hotel, they go to the most non-inspirational meeting ballroom where Deborah asked them to serve cantaloupe and saltines. I was just, what? Is that what she snacks on, you think?
I think so. Yes, definitely. Saltines.
Again, Deborah is expecting them to be ready to write a #1 hit over the weekend while they're there, but Ava brings her back down by creating a more realistic expectation of coming up with an opening sketch. So that's kind of their new goal for the weekend.
Mhm.
And when they're pitching the sketch ideas, one guy becomes labeled as the riff killer by Deborah, and she wants to fire him. And he really is the riff killer, and it is so funny. So
That's
funny.
honestly my biggest fear if I were part of the writers' room. Yeah, just like like suggesting something and gets zero laughs or zero what's like riffs after. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
God. Ugh.
As the meeting goes on, it feels as if they're not getting anywhere, and Ava suggests to Deborah that maybe if the writers had some fun, they would be able to come up with some better ideas. So shenanigans ensue. And so this is like you're saying, let's just get to know each other better. Let's go do some
Yes.
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
To prepare for the night, they go on like a little racing thing, and then
Yes.
they go back to the bus. And to prepare for the night's activities, Deborah provides them with drugs and some 12-year-old Four Locos.
Yeah. Which some might say is the ultimate drug.
Were you old enough to have the OG Four Locos?
Not the OG, but I do remember because we moved here and I was in junior year of high school. I do remember for sure, like my best friend, we were out just driving around the city once or town once, and I'm pretty sure she backed a Four Loco, but I don't know. I've never had one.
They came out the year that I turned 21, or the year before. The OG, full alcohol, for full caffeine, and that's all we were drinking for
Oh
the
God.
longest time. I know. It's because they were new and like I don't know,
Sure.
but I remember the taste and I want to throw up right now
Like,
thinking about it.
yeah. It doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, it wasn't. But I'm glad that I was alive during that time and I got to experience it.
Yeah. And you had the body to take that damage on.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? The
man,
youthful body. Yeah.
I have 2 martinis now and I'm like, well, I'm going to be hungover tomorrow.
Exactly. Can you imagine what a Four Loko would do with it? Oh, fuck me. You probably wouldn't wake up.
I wouldn't want to. That's for sure. I did want to ask, what is your general stance on party drugs? Like
um,
LSD, Molly,
mhm,
ecstasy,
mhm. I'm okay
mushrooms.
with it if people can handle themselves. I actually used to be such a square. What about you?
I same. I am not against them. I'm not a big drug person. I have friends, that like their thing is going to
Yeah.
festivals and having all the drugs.
Yes.
Again, as long as you're safe, you're smart about it, you can handle it. My One of the reasons I'm less of a open myself to taking drugs now is just it's really hard to test drugs because
Yeah.
even if you have like a fentanyl test kit, you're still only testing a portion of it, and
Yeah.
it makes me really scared.
Yeah. I do have a fun drug story. Can I tell it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I have one too.
And it's Vegas related too. So
Ooh, okay.
yes, and it was my first time taking this. I took mushrooms, but it was
Me too.
the but it was the worst environment to do it in. I was in Vegas the last time I went to Vegas. I whatever. If I think about it, it's stupid. But it was my ex's 30th birthday, and his friends all went out because he had friends with like birthdays on the same day or day before, whatever. So it was a big celebration. Anyways, we went. I was with him, and they had like friends that lived there, so they supplied the mushrooms. And I was like, I've never taken mushrooms before. He was like, oh, you got to take this mushroom. So I took it, knowing I was going to be safe because someone was like I trusted was there. And so I took it before we went out to the club, and the club was like the club that Deborah goes in, and she's like the DJ, and she's like, let's get. So it's like electronic music, lights, worst. Yeah, you don't do mushrooms and do that. That was horrible. So then I start seeing, like, when my eyes are open, I'm just seeing the walls moving to like the music, like everything's melting, dancing, whatever. So I'm like, oh, I have to just close my eyes and coast through this. So I'm closing my eyes and dancing because, again, we're with a group of his friends, maybe like 10 to 15 people in the section. And then the next day, I'm come off it safe, whatever, I survived. The next day, the girls that were there were like, um, so do you like just dance with your eyes closed? Because I've never met you before. And I was like, no, why would you say this? Like, well, yesterday you're just like, you just, and I was like, oh no, I was on drugs. And they're like, wait, you were on drugs? I was like, yeah, I took mushrooms. They're like, oh, okay, thank God. Because we were like, what? Who dances like that? And I was like, that's so funny. I'm so glad you even asked, so I didn't come off like a weirdo for the rest of this trip. But yeah, that was my first experience with mushrooms and doing drugs in Vegas.
Well, would you do shrooms again?
I do want to do it in a more chill environment, yes,
Mm-hmm.
just to really get the effect of it, because I don't think I did. Yeah. Yeah.
When I did it, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask about your experience.
I was at Bonnaroo, and my friend had done it the year before, and she was like, I had the best time. We're going to do it together. And in hindsight, we both were going through breakups at the time. So I don't think mentally we were probably in the best place.
Absolutely not.
And, but they gave, like, I got a bag. She got bags of mushrooms for us. And I was told, like, you just eat them slowly, and, like, you'll probably start to feel a little sick. And so I just was munching on them. I was like walking around and munching on them. She walks off, and
Oh,
it
God.
was 2011 or something. And so
Yeah.
our cell phones weren't working because it was so crowded. And so I couldn't
Yeah.
text her. Like, she was just gone, and I was by myself. And I found some friends, thankfully, because we were walking to meet up with them. So I still found them, still eating mushrooms, just still
Yeah.
walking. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not gonna hang out with her, just trip by myself and these people. And
Yeah.
we sat down to watch Arcade Fire or something, and I was just like, it's not hit me, y'all. It's not hit me. And
Yeah.
they were the active drug users, and we're
Okay.
like, oh, they're like, here, smoke a little bit of weed and it'll make it kick in. And I'm like, here's the thing, I don't handle smoking weed out in public. I get very anxious and like nervous, paranoid.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, for you to shut up, I'll just fake it. And they're like, no, take a bigger hit. And I'm like, okay. So I did, and immediately I was like, I can't be here right now. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving. I was like, I'm gonna go back to my tent. And they were very sure. I was like, yeah.
God.
And at Bonnaroo, they have big balloons, so you can tell, like, that are numbered, and so you can know where your tents are. And so I saw my number, and I was like, I'm gonna walk to it. So I leave the centeroo, and during the point of me leaving those friends to getting out, I start and like not tripping very much so. And it took me about 3 hours to get back to my tent because I kept getting lost, because you'll come to and then not. And so I was just walking and
Why did
walking.
they let you walk by yourself?
Because they're not good friends.
Yeah.
So I just walk alone like for 3 hours, and I'm like walking through the grass, and like I just feel everything's like moving across me, and I have these lights, and it was just a whole thing. And I kept getting very confused, but I was having a fine time, I was just like embracing the experience. And then I get back to my tent, and I can't fall asleep. The music's really loud. I keep getting paranoid that I got into the wrong tent. Because I was like, wait, what if I was out? So I kept like making sure. And I also started like not having the best time once I got to the tent. Some evil clouds were coming. But so I did what you did, though. I was like, I just need to lay down here, close my eyes, and we'll just hang out.
Yeah.
Well, I close my eyes and I take my little blanket and I like wrap myself up in it, and I visualize that I am in a cocoon that is being fed energy by aliens.
Oh my God.
But it was a very soothing thing, and because I could hear the music, so it was like the energy was being pumped into the cocoon with the music.
Yeah.
That goes on for a very
Wow.
long time, and
Yeah.
it finally wears off, and I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm still terrified to leave my tent.
You're a little
But I
cocoon.
finally do, and yeah, that was that.
Everything's all right. Yeah.
Well,
God, that is so funny. And so I'm glad you found your way back to the tent and you just let it ride from
yeah,
there on.
yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing when you overdo it with a drug, you've got to just got to let it play out,
You
which
just
sucks.
embrace
But
it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Were you you said you were a square too though, a bit of a square with drugs?
Yeah, I mean,
Or
I'm not. I'm definitely not against them. I'm just a little scared myself,
yeah.
and yeah. So, I mean, I think I
Yeah.
would probably do shrooms again at some point.
Hmm.
I wish that we lived in the 1980s so I could do like some real good cocaine, but here we are.
Here we are.
And
Yeah.
Quaaludes. I probably would have loved some Quaaludes.
Yeah, or you could just go to LA. That was my first experience with cocaine. I was like, wait, what? It's just out in the open like this? Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't do it. I'm just saying.
we
Yeah.
can when we go out
We have one hell of an itinerary. I love this.
there. If we're gonna have the full LA experience,
True.
I did take note too that in this scene where they're out with all the writers having fun and Deborah's taking shots and hanging out. I'm like, I am having a hard time believing that the 6-year-old woman is at the same pace as these people because I'm half that age and absolutely could not.
Oh no, no, that was definitely TV magic or movie
Hmm.
magic. That was yeah, no, 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 no. Heck no, God.
So they are writers retreat, they're having fun doing their drugs, and they start gambling, and they run to Kiki, who we've seen in the previous seasons, who's like
Yeah.
Deborah's private casino blackjack dealer that she'll have
Mhm.
come over. And when Kiki finds out about how Ava got her job, she agrees. She's like, even though Ava did what Deborah would have done, Kiki tells Ava, that's just not you. And I loved Kiki's very emotionally intelligent response.
Yes,
She's always
agreed.
the voice of reason in these
Yeah,
episodes that she's in.
yeah.
Their last stop for the evening is a strip club. Have you ever been to a strip club?
I live in Atlanta, baby. Yes, I have.
I have not. I have
You
not.
have not? Okay. Now, okay, we've got an LA itinerary and we've got an Atlanta itinerary.
Hmm.
And the Atlanta one is we're getting get you to do an open mic.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll then go to the strip club to just like shake off the
To
all of it.
celebrate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, while they're at the strip club, Deborah has an idea for the opening sketch. They leave, her and Deborah, letting the other writers sleep and sober up to brainstorm.
Yeah, I do have a fun fact about the stripper that gave Deborah the lap
Okay.
dance.
Yes.
I ran into an article and it said that the stripper that gave Deborah the lap dance also played a stripper in Honora.
Okay.
Yeah, which I still haven't seen, but apparently.
Is she a stripper in real life
And then
or okay.
that's what.
Oh,
Well, she's a stripper in Honora, but I don't. Yeah, I feel like she is a stripper in real life.
or was at least
Yeah,
at some point.
yeah.
Uh, in Righteous Gemstones, they're for whatever reason. Well, I guess that is part of the story. This character BJ, who is Judy Gemstone's now husband, he decides to start taking pole dancing classes. And so, but the thing is that the actor did take pole dancing classes and he did most of the stunts himself.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm nominating
it's
him
so impressive.
next week for the Emmy. So,
Okay.
okay. On their way back to the hotel, they get pulled over and put in the back of a cop car. Deborah checks the crazy mirror of Las Vegas to come fix the situation. And she does arrive a little drunk.
Yeah, or on something. Definitely on drugs too.
She had this line that, again, it was like, who wrote this? And it had me in tears. She delivers this line that says, see how eBay that was? Sorry, typo. See how easy that was?
Yes. Yes.
Killed me.
Me
Ah.
too. Yes.
Do you think somebody said that? Like that has to
Yeah.
be from personal experience to some
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah, I think so. Because you just don't write that. Yeah, I think so. Like maybe
Oh,
somebody heard the, yeah, mistake. Yeah. Or maybe wrote a typo or, yeah, something.
maybe like when they're typing it out, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, or they were doing like voice to text or something,
Yeah.
and they're like, leave it.
Yeah.
It was so good
So
though.
funny. It was.
Everyone regroups the next day. The writers start pitching an opening sketch idea that Deborah actually likes, and it's about her being in prison and being released and then going into late night.
Yeah.
When
Did you
they
think it was
get
funny? Oh, it
no,
didn't work for you.
I
Ah.
I think they could come up with something better. I feel like
Wow.
I could come up with something better.
Mm.
I couldn't, no. But if I was Deborah, that would not be good enough for me. That's all I'm saying.
Wow, really? I
Hmm.
thought it was pretty good. Like a woman's writer's jail, the overcrowded woman's cell, the empty
It
mail.
definitely
It's
was
funny.
better than it
Mm-hmm.
was. They're on the right track. There was something about it that was a little too cheesy.
Okay, I can see that. When they first, like the first pitch, I was like, okay. But then when they started riffing more and more, or like
Hmm.
adding to it more and more, I was like, okay, I see this. I see it becoming something. So
Yeah,
maybe the final product is gonna be better than we see. I hope we actually see it play out. Actually, now that we're talking about it.
I know. I'm wondering if, but like, I'm assuming by the end of this season slash the series, we will at least get up to the first episode of Late Night.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely
If
think we'll get there by the middle of the season
I
or the
think
second half of the season.
I think so too. I'm really not sure though.
Yeah.
They've left it very open.
This is funny as if we didn't learn from Severance in our predictions and how way off we were.
They feel like such low stakes right now though, so I'm
Yeah,
fine with
true.
just doing
True.
whatever. The last scene that we get is after the writers' retreat. Ava and Deborah meet with Rob, who says that there were some complaints about the trip and that there were a lot of HR violations.
Who
Surprise.
snitched?
I don't
Why
know.
would you why would you
I know.
snitch? You got free drugs, you gotta go to the strip club, you gotta go race car drive. Like why would you that would be the best writer's retreat. And you did
Fired.
your job at the end. Exactly. Yes,
Fired.
I would fire you. Yes.
Wet blanket.
Right.
So now, though, that Stacy, the HR lady that we've met, is now going to be exclusively there, Ava and Deborah's HR rep, and have to be like with them at all times, which is a wonderful plot line to add in just to make everything more difficult.
Yeah. And I do love the actress that plays her. She's been
Yeah.
in a
What
few
else is
other.
she? She looks so familiar, but I couldn't remember specifically what she had been in.
She's been in like an ensemble cast comedy. Her name's Michaela. What's her name? But she was in this one show, but it got canceled. Everything gets canceled. Michaela Watkins.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Look her up too.
She was in Casual, but I didn't really like that. That wasn't the one. Which one was the one that she was really in?
That is not how you spell that name. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a SNL alumni.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of her from SNL. She was in Malcolm in the Middle, but that's not what I'm thinking of. She was in New Girl, a couple episodes.
I'm trying to figure why.
Modern Family, only one though. Yeah, I feel like she's just been in a bunch of these little. She was in Veep one episode.
Yeah, that was this really good TV show. Oh, dang it. Whatever. I can't find it. But it was a good ensemble. Was it The Unicorn? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it had Walton Goggins in it. The Unicorn.
The Unicorn. When was that?
Mm-hmm. It came out to 2020. No, 2019. And it only got 2 seasons, I believe.
I'll
But
have to
I
check
really
out this
liked it.
show.
Yeah, I think you can find it on Hulu still.
I have not heard of this. Or I don't remember at least. But yeah, that is the end of the third episode. And so I think we got 7 more,
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Yes, correct. You do. Um, yeah, I loved this episode a lot, actually.
I did too. It was um it really helped bridge together the introduction of these new writers. So now we're
Mm-hmm.
going to see them in the next episodes as they're writing, and so I like the way that they introduced them. Felt like it was a
Yeah,
great
agreed.
way to do it.
Yeah, and it actually kind of made me miss 30 Rock. I might do a 30 Rock rewatch finally.
Mm.
I love the aspect of writers' rooms and all that stuff, obviously. And I was like, I haven't seen this like thing in like since 30 Rock. Really, I was like really trying to trick my brain, and it made me nostalgic to it. So I might finally do that again. And Tina and Amy are popping up all over again. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. They've been doing stuff. Well, because I guess Amy started her new podcast and Tina was on there. So
yeah.
they were.
Have you listened to it? Like her
Mm.
podcast?
No,
No,
not
I
yet.
haven't.
I've seen clips, but
Yeah,
probably should
me
listen to
too.
it. But I'm very busy
Probably.
listening to our own.
Yeah, as everyone else should be too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Did you have any other final thoughts? Any questions, comments, concerns?
No, I think it's heading in a great direction, and yeah, like you, I'm excited to see where we go. And I'm enjoying the laughs. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the laughs. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. It's nice to have a show that consistently, each episode you're gonna have at least 3 to 5 belly laughs.
yeah, yeah. And lines where you're like, "Holy fuck, how did you come up with that?" Which is one of my
Yes.
favorite things.
With doing this podcast, I'm definitely thinking about the logistics, or like the work that goes into these shows, especially the
Yeah,
writing. And I'm more and more impressed.
yeah, I agree. And it also made me realize I feel like there's actually like less comedy on TV right now compared to dramas, but that just might be my brain or whatever my perception. But I just when I have my list of shows to watch right now, there are a lot more dramas in there than comedies, which sucks.
Yeah, I think that we are missing. There's a very huge void, at least in my opinion, of shows like Abbott, because we used to have Parks
Sitcoms.
and Rep, The Office, 30, like
Yes.
at one point I think all of those were on TV at the same time,
Yes.
and we're just NBC's not pulling that together right now.
Even like Modern
And
Family, Fresh Off the
yeah,
Boat, yeah, all that stuff. The
Blackish,
Goldbergs, yeah, Blackish, all
yes.
of that. Yeah, we had a lot of sitcoms on TV at one point, and I feel like they've just all disappeared.
Hmm.
And yeah, Abbott's probably the only sitcom that's of note. Like, yeah, of note.
I would say St. Denis Medical is probably another one, and I do think it's good, and I think they're filling that
Yeah.
spot,
Hmm.
but it's just not unique enough for me
Yeah,
to engage with it enough. So,
yeah, I agree. It did get picked up for a second season, though, I believe.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to bring more sitcoms to the table or more cable, what's it called? Comedies like
Hmm.
this or like
Well,
Veep.
we'll get on it, and so NBC, you can hire us as writers, and then
Yes.
me as the host for late night.
Multi hyphenate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I still will take the loan salary of 100K with some moving money. I will stand by that offer. Okay.
Honestly, okay. Well, I can. I'm currently watching the John Mulaney live, whatever.
Hmm.
Everybody's live with John Mulaney right now. Just catching up on those episodes, and talking about money because at first I thought your 100,000 low, whatever was not low, but it is low.
Yeah.
But I think we forget how much money Hollywood like shelves out to ridiculous shit. Because John Mulaney talks about bringing on a music group and he offers like a pretty significant amount of money, and I was just like, wait, what? Just for like a 5-minute appearance? That's crazy. So yeah, 100, that's a very low. You're gonna get hired,
Yeah,
and they'd be stupid not to hire you.
that's a steal. And even, I mean, are you going to get the best stuff out of me? No, but you'll get some good stuff.
Why not the best? I think they get great shit out of you.
Well, because I haven't I've never worked in a writer's room. I've never, written a TV show. So it'll take me a little bit to
Right.
get, hang of it, but
Yeah, true.
they'll
I
get their
get you.
money's worth. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And we'll just hire other great writers.
I think that they said the writers on SNL get paid $7,000 an episode or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it was something that was surprisingly low, especially if you think about them living in New York.
Yeah. What?
Here,
No, Lorne Michaels.
let's fact
Shame
check it.
on you.
Okay, but if you got to be a writer on SNL, you're gonna say no. I don't want. I want more than $7,000 a week.
No, you gotta take what you get. But you know what? 7,000 makes a lot of sense because they really do go on the road after that. Like they're active comedians,
And
or they write something else.
they're not working all year.
Yeah, but that's what.
Yeah, so it says SNL writers' salary generally fall within the range of 55 to 100,000 per year. The average base salary is 70,000, 73,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, for living in New York, that's nothing. That's literally, that's insane. That's crazy.
It says this Reddit post, which was 10 months ago, according to at least 2017 to 2020. So it's probably is a little bit more. Staff writers make a starting rate of $5,000 a week.
Okay, a week's not bad. A week is not bad at all.
No, but again, New York, if you have rent and stuff,
Yeah,
and
but
I think that's
a week. That's $20,000 a month.
Weeks that they're working. So, right? I would assume.
Yeah, I would assume.
So, I mean, $5,000 a week all year long. Yeah, that's fine.
That's
we can
even
live off of that.
a week. Yeah, even $5,000 a week for 6 months is still that's over $100,000.
Yes. Yeah, so that's probably worth like the 105 or something.
Wow.
Per year.
Okay, I've got goals.
Look, NBC, if that $100,000 is too much, we can talk. Okay, we can.
Yeah.
I'll take a percentage of the royalties. We can make this work.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Your people reach out to my people, which is me. So.
Which is this podcast.
Yes. Which have you checked our email address? Like
I have not. I should.
There's probably nothing in there, but yeah, watch like there's like these like really important. Which I don't even know how somebody would found our email because I don't think we posted it on anything. But
no, I don't think so. Or like hate mail. That'd be awful.
Yeah.
Stop shit talking the Big Bang Theory. Okay, calm down. I would reply back. No, I wouldn't. I've gotta. No. I will check though, and I'll get back to everybody on if we have any hate mail.
Yeah. And if we should, if we ever get like negative comments or anything, we should read those or like bad reviews.
Yes. That'd be great.
Really pride ourselves on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of episode 3.
Yay.
And we will see you guys next week for episode 4.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.